Hello, children. Uh, Today I am here with a new PowerPoint video, the Peninsular Plateau of India. Now, the features of this Peninsular Plateau. This Peninsular Plateau is the oldest and largest part of the Indian subcontinent. And this plateau is irregular uh, and triangular in shape, which have the base towards the north. This is the oldest part not only of India but of the world also. And it is made up of volcanic trap. That means the lava comes out from the volcano and has the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks, uh, and it slope towards east and have the average height of 600 to 900 meter. This vast plateau is 1600 kilometer from north to south direction and 1400 kilometer from east to west direction. This Narmada Tapi river trough, this divides the plateau into two broad parts, that is Central Highland and the Deccan Plateau, and it is flanked by, means the edged by the two major boundary, the higher Western Ghat and the lower Eastern Ghat. The plateau has the broad and shallow, means not very deep, valleys, hills, forest, means where we normally found the mountain regions, that is covered with thick forest, and the undulating surfaces, that is the rolling plain. The region is very rich in minerals as well as one of the fertile soils, like black soils and even red and laterite soil. The Now the first division of the plateau, that is Central Highland. Its boundary is Aravali Hills in the west, Meghalaya Plateau in the east, and Northern Plain in the north, and the Vindhya Range in the south. This highland is made up of the hard, igneous, and metamorphic rock. And this plateau is wide in the west, and as we move towards the east, it tapers. That means the it starts narrow down. Uh, the whole central highland is divided into the four parts: the Malwa Plateau, which is of lava formation; Bundelkhand, the upland areas; Bagelkhand, having the synclinal and anticlinal hills, having many upfold and the downfold in the hills, and the mineral rich Chotanagpur Plateau. The important river which flow here is Chamba, Sindh, Betwa, Damodar, which flow over here. And this towards the south of the Bundelkhand, there is Bastar Plateau, or which we can say that Dandakaranya upland, which have the rough surface and well forested in the south. Now comes the Deccan Plateau. It is the largest part of the two now, and this is broadly divided into three plateaus: Maharashtra in the north, Telangana in the central, and Karnataka in the south. And this plateau lies to the south of Narmada Tapi river and having a triangular landmass. This plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently in the gently to eastwards. That's why most of the river of peninsular plateau that flow from west to east. Now, uh, as far as the boundary of this plateau region is concerned, Satpura range is in the north, Kanyakumari is in the south, Western Ghat in the west, and the Eastern Ghat in the east. This plateau is having many ancient rocks, and the region of the northwest Deccan Plateau that is known as Deccan Trap. Now, its average height is about 600 meter in the north, and as we move towards the south, the height increases up to 1000 meter, and it has a wide slope of 500 meter in north. Now, the two important ages, that is Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat. Now, we will see what's the difference between them. Western Ghat, uh, it runs parallel to the western coast from Tapi River to Kanyakumari. On the other hand, Eastern Ghat runs parallel to the eastern coast from Odisha to the Nilgiri Hills. The average height of the Western Ghat is 900 meter to 1100 meter, and the width is 50 to 80 kilometer. On the other hand, Eastern Ghat is less than 600 meter, and the highest peak is Mahendragiri, which is in Andhra Pradesh. Now, Western Ghat is a continuous mountain range uh, where one can come across only through the natural gap that passes. On the other hand, Eastern Ghat is a discontinuous land, and it's not in continuity, and it is wider than the Western Ghat, about 100 kilometer to 200 kilometer. Now, Western Ghat is the source of many large rivers, which uh, supply water to the fertile areas of the peninsular plateau. On the other hand, no river emerges from here. Uh, the rivers actually cut valleys, that means the Eastern Ghat, to reach to Bay of Bengal, and Western Ghat is perpendicular. That means it is stopping the southwest monsoon wind, and it causes the rainfall in the western coastal plain. Uh, on the other hand, Eastern Ghats, they are uh, running parallel to the monsoon. So what happened that no regular rainfall is happening here. Now, the two important fertile features, that is eastern coastal plain and the western coastal plain. Uh, Eastern coastal plain is formed due to deposition done by the rivers. On the other hand, western coastal plain is formed by the submergence of land. Uh, Eastern coastal plain is located between the Eastern Ghat and the Bay of Bengal. On the other hand, Western coastal plain is located between Western Ghat and the Arabian Sea. Eastern coastal plain is the linear coastal line, means it is straight, uh, and it is drained by many rivers which form delta, and it do not support the ports. On the other hand, Western coastal plain is indented, and it supports many natural ports. Uh, Eastern coastal plain is the broader plain with the average width of 80 to 100 kilometer, On the other hand, Western Coastal Plain is the narrow plain having the average width of 50 to 80 kilometer. Now, in the Eastern Coastal Plain, we do not find many lagoons, that is the saltwater lake. Only the important one is Chilka Lake and the Pulicat Lake. On the other hand, we find many lakes, especially in Kerala and the South Karnataka, and means here actually means the area is drained by many small rivers, the swift moving rivers, which do not form deltas. Now, the major difference between the two features, one, the new feature, the Himalaya, and the second is the old feature, that is peninsula. Uh, the Himalaya is the new one, so it is the loftiest, the rising mountain system of the world. On the other hand, Peninsular Plateau is a tableland, completely eroded and flat. Uh, then Himalaya actually formed due to folding of this rock strata uh, at the bed of Tethys Sea uh, due to continuous deposition at the base of Tethys Sea. On the other hand, Peninsular Plateau was formed when it disintegrated from the supercontinent Pangaea. Uh, the Himalaya mountain system consists of tallest peaks of the world like Mount Everest, Mount Kanchenjunga. On the other hand, the Peninsular Plateau, they have the rounded hills due to continuous large scale erosion which goes on for quite a long time. Many perennial rivers, that means the permanent river which carry water throughout the year, that emerges from the Himalaya, and they get recharged from melting of the snow, and they are well navigable, that means used for the water transport. On the other hand, peninsular plateau rivers are the seasonal rivers, rain-fed river, which actually get recharged only during the rainy season, and they are not navigable due to rocky structure base. That means the base is not uniform, so that's why it is not navigable. And Himalaya is a youthful topography. This can be seen from the features which is found over here, that is the gorges, the narrow deep gap between the two mountains, V shape or the U shape valleys, the high falling waterfalls. On the other hand, the peninsular plateau actually it represents a senile topography, very old topography, where we find the broad and the shallow valleys, and the hilltops are rounded. So, what we see in this video is that uh, the detail about the peninsular plateau. Thank you for listening this.